Well, where you at? You home in Tennessee now?
Yes, sir. I'm in Crossville, Tennessee right now.
How's everything been going? Obviously, I've been asking a lot of the fighters. Everything was shut down for a couple months. How were you able to kind of maintain yourself, stay in shape? Just keep in half decent condition while some gyms are closed.
I live in a pretty small town, man, so it wasn't that really big of a deal here, at least not initially. So I have my personal keys to the gym. They did shut the gym down to like the mainstream, everyone else that goes in there. There's like the Young Marines goes in there and there's a karate class, but Dad and I would just go in there and train, and they allowed it for us for the time being. So I would go to the gym, run, just basically my normal routine. I wasn't really impacted that much by it.
Okay, so you were able, basically to stay in shape and everything and be ready for a fight. I know you were supposed to fight in the end of June, but that kind of got pushed back a little bit. What's now the prognosis of when we get you back in the ring?
So we're currently waiting on confirmation from Top Rank. I actually talked to Ron Rizzo today, and he informed me that Tim was supposed to speak with Bruce Trampler sometime today and get back with some updates this afternoon. So I should know midweek on a confirmation of a date, but I requested August 27th, which is I saw the last show for the summer series on Dem Rafael's Facebook page, and I'm assuming it's whenever Jose Ramirez is going to fight Victor Postal. So that will give me plenty of time to get in shape and get ready.
So
So
let's take a step back. Not much is known about you. You really haven't been on the national scene, the national TV a lot. So tell us about how you got into boxing. What age did you start boxing?
I started boxing when I was 7, and ultimately what got me involved in the sport was my father was a professional fighter, and I have an older brother. He's 5 years older than I am, so he started boxing whenever he was 12. And then just a few months after Chris started fighting, I started fighting. It was one of those typical scenarios: if big brother does it, little brother does
Mm-hmm.
it. So that's how I got involved with it.
And you embarked. Tell us a little bit about your amateur career.
Yes, sir. So, I split a lot of my time between boxing and football. I was a very good, very serious football player. I had, I think about 75 amateur fights. My record was like, you know, 50 something and 19, I believe, or something like that. I lost a lot whenever I was little. Once I got older, I started winning a lot of fights. I won 3 national tournaments. I placed second in the Junior Olympics in 2010. I got beat by Mike Reed, which was he was from Manuka, Illinois. Definitely a kid that I should have beat. He just had won the Silver Gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Was a far better fighter than him, but he definitely beat me that night. I mean, it was his night, so I did not fight good at all. And then after that, that was really the last major tournament I fought in. I went in and played my senior year of high school football, and I had a difficult decision to make if I wanted to play, college football in college, or if I wanted to turn pro and fight. So ultimately, my decision was based upon the fact that I didn't want to depend upon other people anymore.
Mm.
I knew that I had my father in my corner, and he was always going to be by my side. And in the boxing ring, it's really just up to me once I step in there, and I like it that way.
Wh- Uh,
So
what position did you play in football?
I was a running back.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to worry. I mean, you had some offensive linemen, but uh,
100%.
but you see, you if you stuck to football, you would still get all the glory. I mean, when you
Yeah.
if you.
I hate losing though, man. That's not my style. So, um, my senior year in high school, I had almost 2,000 rushing
Oh
yards, and we
wow.
lost nine games. And the only game we won, I had 5 touchdowns and like 395 yards.
Was there significant college interest in you?
No, no, I mean there was a few Division 1 AA schools that were interested
Mm-hmm.
in me. I'm realistic about things. I'm just as good skillfully as the guy that plays Division 1A ball,
Oh
but I'm
yeah.
not. I'm not 6'1", 6'2", 225 pounds running a 4.4. I'm 5'9", 180 running a 4.4. So I could have went and played Division 1 AA ball, and I had a few offers on the table, but I just decided that I wanted to pursue my boxing career, and that's ultimately the reason why I did. And you got to depend on the defense to make stops. And yeah, so it's definitely a team sport, man. Which I enjoyed hanging out with all my friends in high school and everything, but there was just something that drove me to boxing, and I think that was
Well,
a lot of the reason why.
for my money, the best running back of all time was a one double A guy, Walter Payton. So I mean,
Okay.
Walter Payton. I know I'm in Philly. Brian Westbrook played at Villanova. They were one double A schools. So I mean, a lot of great players. Before we get into boxing, you have a favorite football team? You a Titans fan down there?
Well, I'm much more of a college guy. So yeah, my favorite football team is the Tennessee Vols, hands down, by far. It's been a difficult run for us the past, decade, man. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna say I'm sick and tired of saying what everyone else says. Oh, this year's the year. This year's the year. I haven't been on that for the past 2 or 3 years. So I will say that I was very impressed with how my football team finished the season last year. We started out like 2-5, and we ended the season 8-5. So we won 6 games in a row, and I was very proud of them for being resilient and coming through.
It's amazing. I've been to every sporting event, in the NBA Finals, the World Series. One thing I've never been to, and you probably have been. I always want to go to an ACC football game on a Saturday night. That looks like it's a load of fun. You been to Neyland Stadium for a game?
Well, they're in the SEC, not the
ACC. I meant SEC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely have, and I watched them play LSU. I believe it was 3 years ago, and whenever they had Darius Geis as the running back, and I also watched them play Kentucky a few years ago. We always beat Kentucky. LSU beat us, but we don't matter if Kentucky's a lot better than we are. We always beat them. It's like they're cursed. So it's an experience. There's over 100,000 people there. It's like something you'll never see, man.
Yeah, it's because I watch the game day and I see all the barbecue going. And just I see all.
It's nice.
It's nice. So let's get let's get back to your day job here in boxing. So you're hopefully supposed to get one in maybe the end of August or whatnot. Yeah, you've had some nice wins. You've actually beaten a couple guys from my neck of the woods. Jamal Davis from Philadelphia. You beat Isaiah Selden. Quality guys from the Philadelphia, Atlantic City area. What's because you've been out for a little while? Are you planning hopefully for a step up fight, or you just need one to get back because you haven't been in the ring for a little bit?
Well, ultimately, I'm going to leave that decision up to the guys at Split T and my father. They send the opponents over, and the majority of the people they send over, like basically 100% of the time, we always say yes. The last guy I was supposed to fight was Gerald Sherrill, which he's from your neck of the woods as well.
Yeah.
And, he's a pretty damn good fighter. So, and that would have been my first fight back in like a year. Whenever I fought Jamal Davis, I hurt my hand really, really, really bad in the 3rd round. And that's what kept me out of the ring for so damn long. Mm-hmm. And then we had the pandemic happen. I was supposed to fight May 9th. And then the pandemic happened, so that got set back. And then June 30th, we had some unfortunate circumstances happen as well, so I wasn't able to fight. So now we're looking at August. But, I would like to get in there and get the ring rust off, because at the end of the day, it's a lot different than sparring and training. It's totally different. Anyone that stepped in the ring can tell you. But, at this level, I'm with Top Rank. I should beat anybody that they send for me to fight 8 rounds anyways, regardless. And if I can't, then I don't have any business to be in the boxing ring, doing it at this level anyways. So that's the way I look at it.
What's it mean to you to be with Top Rank? Obviously, they're the top guys going. They're the only ones running any fights as of now. You're with them, a very strong promotional outfit. What's that mean to you to have a team like that in your corner?
Oh, wow, man. So my journey in the professional boxing world was not easy. I had to fight in front of basically nobody. My father my family always believed in me, and a few other people, my close friends. We all knew my potential, but I come from a small town in Tennessee, so I didn't have anything given to me. All the wins that I got, my father would call these promoters, like Brian Young, or there's a guy named Adrian Patrick, and we eventually got with Cameron Duncan, and he got us with someone in Colorado. So I had to fight, 5 or 6 different people, man. And, ultimately, whenever I finally got in contact with Tim Van Newhouse, he was able to just get me on the Top Rank card. All I knew is I just had to get in front of those guys. And so the groundwork was already done. They didn't have to build my record. You know, the 4-round fights were over, the 6-round fights were over. I was ready for 8-round fights. You know, so my dad had already laid the groundwork, and all the hard work had been put in already. So all I knew is I had to get in front of them and put on a show. And Tim Van Nieuwhouse delivered as he always does. And I knocked the dude out in the second round, someone who hadn't ever been stopped at the time. And it was funny because David McWater did not like that kid. He told me after the weigh-ins, he was like, I want you to annihilate this kid, So I actually, the first time I knocked him down, it stoned him. It was with a jab. I put on a very dominant performance. It could not have went better. And, like less than a month after that, 2 or 3 weeks, I had a promotional contract from Top Rank. My father actually started crying. He's a contractor, so we was on the way to one of his jobs. I was helping him do something. And Tim told Dad before he told me. Dad got out of the truck and he was crying. He held my neck. So, man, it was beautiful. I mean, Top Rank, in my personal opinion, is undoubtedly the greatest promotional company ever. I mean, look at what they're doing. They just brokered a deal with ESPN. They're the only major boxing company in the world that's actually putting on shows. They were the first to get it done successfully. And, that's what you expect out of Top Rank. It's kind of like, someone in the NFL being signed by the Dallas Cowboys or the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just a white kid from a small town in Tennessee, man. Just proving that if you put enough time and work in the shit, you can bring it to fruition. And getting time with Top Rank is just the beginning, though. I mean, I've still got a lot of work to do. I haven't even fought 10 rounds yet.
It sounds like in your case, it almost be equivalent to being named Peyton Manning's running back when he was a volunteer.
100%. That's what it feels like, man. 100%.
You taking a look at the other middleweights in and around, kind of like where you are, like right now, the guys who had 15, 18, 20 fights. Do you kind of look around to see the guys who you may be fighting, a couple, 3 fights from now?
100%. I look at stuff like that all the time.
Who are those guys?
Are you talking about like within the Top Rank stable or just like in a broad scope of things?
Both, maybe 1 or 2 guys each way.
Obviously, I think eventually that I'm gonna have to fight one of the guys in the Top Rank stable. I think it might be the Edgar Berlanga boy. I think I might have to fight him.
He fights tomorrow night.
Yes, sir, and I will be watching that fight. Kids, I'm excited to see what he does, once he goes some rounds, because I really believe the guy tomorrow that he's fighting will take him some rounds.
Yeah, that kid fought on one of my cards up in Philly, Eric Moon. Not a bad little fighter.
Yeah, and Berlanga can punch, man. Yeah. He's a good fighter, man. I mean, I think I might have to fight him, and, Clay Collard has got a lot of steam going right now, man. You got 2 white guys that aren't afraid to fight. I think that would be something that I would eventually have to do if he continues to do well. I think that I'll eventually have to fight whoever, if I continue to win, whoever's holding that WBA regular title within Top Rank, which I think I don't really see anybody beating Ryota Murata. So if Tim is able to broker a deal and David, everyone with split team management, I'll win my 10-round fights and get that opportunity, which I'm sure they could get the opportunity for me. And I think I'll eventually have to fight him as well. So for the short term, I think that, I'll probably fight Gerald Chill next. I mean, if he's still training and available. I think maybe possibly Clay Collard as well. Edgar Berlanga, Berlanga would not be like soon though. That's not an 8-round fight. That would be like a co-main event on ESPN or a main event on ESPN, because in the boxing world, his name is a lot more known than mine is right now. So, I got to get my name publicly out there as well. And if that's something that could attract enough attention, I think that we could be very well headlining an ESPN card together.
I know this is a fight that, right now is way down the line. And obviously he's at 168 pounds, and he's across the street with the PBC. I think you know where I'm going now.
Caleb Plant.
Well,
I know exactly where you're going.
I mean, just because of the geographic thing, I know you fought above 160 pounds a bunch of times. Is that something, who knows, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Would that become a big deal down in your neck of the woods?
Oh, man, listen, we're both from Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, and Caleb was my main sparring partner before he left to go to Vegas. and we sparred together all the time. You know, we developed a pretty decent relationship. I mean, I wouldn't say that we were great friends, but you know, we hung out at the gym. You know, we helped each other get better. We were always friendly. It was great work. So yeah, actually, Tim Van Newhouse and I have discussed that. I talked to my dad about it before. You know, and Caleb's last fight in February, I went and watched him at Bridgestone Arena, and you know, I was just thinking, man, you got two undefeated white kids from Tennessee fighting in Bridgestone Arena. That could be massive. You got Top Rank and PBC collaborating together, you know, so just as long as I continue to do what he's doing and win some fights, and he continues to win some fights, I would love it, you know. It doesn't have to be anything personal, you know. It's just business at the end of the day. I mean, we'll get in there and fight, and then I'll go buy him a beer. I mean, shit.
And like you said, it could potentially be big business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know, with that being said, Caleb Plant's the real deal, dude. I mean, he is. That kid can fight.
Well, we'll let you go. A couple last questions. Anything you want to say in closing out there?
You know, I'm just, you know, what I want to say in closing is, you know, I just want to thank Split T and especially Top Rank for giving me the opportunity in this platform. You know, I'm not taking any of it for granted, and you know, I just want to thank them for the patience. You know, I know stuff keeps happening with me, you know, like what happened in the last training camp, and then my hand was hurt for so long. Those people have been amazing, man. You know, they've been so understanding. They understand stuff happens in boxing, but I'm still here. Everyone needs to understand that, and I'm training. I'm keeping my weight down. I was like 169 pounds whenever I got done running the other day. So I'm taking it very serious. I quit my job. You know, I was working from home, making very good money. I quit my job to focus all my time on boxing. So, and then I've also, Tim Van Newhouse got us working with Bobby Bitten as well. So he's going to help my father and I out training. So there's going to be a totally different Tyler Howard whenever I start fighting again, you know. But one thing that I've always had and everyone's always going to see is I got a ton of heart. So whoever they put me in front of better be ready to fight, because I will be ready. And
last but not least, where do we find you on social media?
Yes, sir. My Instagram is Herc Howard. My Twitter, I think my Twitter is Herc Howard as well. And then my Facebook is just Tyler Howard.
Well, we thank you for a few minutes of your time. We look forward to seeing you hopefully in the end of August, and we'll be following you along the way.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mark. You have a wonderful evening, man.